Hello and welcome to my channel GreenLion Goddess Tarot. This is your daily reading for October the 7th, 2021. So let's see. We have the Five of Wands. We have a bit of conflict or competition dealing with the King of Swords. Well, that will sort that out. Very rational thinking about something that you might be feeling conflicted about or a conflict you might be having with others. We have the Judgment card coming through. So there could be some kind of decision pending where there's been some kind of unrest within a group, within a society, within society in general. Nine of Swords. Okay, so there's a bit of stress, maybe some overthinking about what's going on with this. And then we have the Sun card. Wow. So, gosh, it's had everything happen. And the Seven of Cups. Really what I'm getting with this is expectations, really looking at, and I'm not even sure if this is an individual thing or if a collective energy is kind of what it feels like. An energy of really understanding what kind of expectations you're putting on something and really where that is causing a bit of conflict in your life. So I do feel like there's actually, I keep getting the word strife. So this is where it could be, a day where we might be seeing protests or civil unrest. It's kind of got that energy to it. But again, it's a sense that this can be resolved to the fact that we have the Sun card. Now, it doesn't have to, this can be an individual process for you. It's just looking at something where you've kind of put something or someone up on this kind of ideal, looking at ideals really, or idealism in general. But it can be to say, like, I've had this kind of almost fantasy or this ideal expectation of what it is that I've been wanting here. And it's really looking at bringing in, releasing that, but still seeing that there's something really positive here. There's some kind of breakthrough that's coming through with this Sun card that brings clarity and happiness. So, yeah, I don't know. I get warring parties with this energy. It's kind of like, oh, and so this could be an internal energy as well. But there's a sense of some sort of authoritative energy coming in, whether this is like a government energy or whether this is like like a boss or someone with authority in your life. This could be an aspect of you that is just, let's clear all this out. Let's clear a lot of this. I mean, the Judgment energy heralds a rebirth, and we do see that stepping into that with the Sun. But a lot of the stuff that's being cleared out is, we've got the King of Swords, which is clarity and rational mind on one side. We've got the Nine of Swords on the other side, which is the opposite of that, which is stress, anxiety, overthinking, letting fears get the better of you. And so this is where we're kind of seeing the conflict here. So it could be a lot to do with the fact the Seven of Cups can also represent there's a lot of choice out there. There's a lot of, and that can feel overwhelming, or you don't know what the direction is or what the right path is. One of those days where you could just go, I don't know what the right direction to go in. But the good news is that this little moment here that's happening, however it's presenting, it definitely has got a lot of conflict around it. It has the answers. The answers will come through. So, and all of this kind of unrealistic expectations that someone may be placed upon you even as well, or that you've placed upon something else, or this sense of just not like, I kind of get this sense of not knowing or just feeling kind of overwhelmed. That all can be kind of flushed out. So, it's kind of interesting energy that's coming through with this Judgment card right in the center. And sometimes it's one of those things that when an energy is ready to shift and move and ready to kind of clear out a whole heap of the old, so old things are coming up from the past in order to be dealt with, but the Judgment card always heralds that it's about to step into some new energy. And if that new energy is that Sun card there, well, that's good. You're going to want to look at all this stuff, clear it out. A lot of mental energy is being exerted as well. I mean, the Sun card is the happiest card in the deck, so it's heading towards happiness, but like I said, there's all this, I feel like there's all this mental energy being thrown at something, even anguish, but it can be like, wow, just trying to solve something. But the King of Swords is a good energy. It's a real, there could be a decision that comes in today as well, that with these two energies of the King of Swords and the Judgment card, there could be some kind of decision or news coming through. So, yeah, ultimately, it can present itself in so many different forms. Basically, it's heralding the fact that we're stepping into, you're able to, a lot of this conflict is being released, basically. And like I said, it's a lot of mental energy. It could be related to mental health. Look at where you're feeling quite conflicted, trying to find the clarity on one hand and stressed on the other. And, those two energies can actually co-inhabit and coexist quite well, easily. Maybe not well, but easily together. And so, yeah, it's interesting. So it's positive, but when you're in the midst of it, it'll be like, wow, what is this? But when you get over the other side, you can go, oh, now I know why all this stuff came up to be looked at. Now, this can quite literally be a whole heap of, like, a sudden flurry of work. Suddenly there's things that have been thrown at you, and suddenly, things that you thought that were done have to be redone. So it can also have that Mercury retrograde kind of energy, or something that you thought was, finished over a year ago is come back. So I don't know why I got over a year, but that could be relevant for some of you. Either way, at the end of this day, if we feel like the Sun card, it's going to be like, phew, made it through, feel better, understand why things weren't working, and now I can see the solutions and see the dynamics really clearly. So that's the positive. It's just you kind of got to get thrown into the maelstrom just to kind of sort all that stuff up. So it feels very much like a flurry of energy, busyness. But yeah, that's why I think it's going to be interesting energy, but, the sooner we can get to the Sun, the better. And this also can be what I just got told. If some of you are feeling quite stressed, even stepping outside and just cleansing your energy in the Sun can actually be something that could be helpful as well. So, yeah, ultimately you're going to get on the other side of this, but yeah, I think it's going to end well with the Sun. So that's it for October the 7th. Look forward to seeing you tomorrow.